Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Muhammad Azhar Ikabiasan. My team and I gonna talk about traditional production versus lean production. So, for my part, I'm going to share with you the definition, characteristic of both production and step to implement lean production. First, the definition of traditional production. Traditional production is a manufacturing process that focusing on a certain set of product in each period and holding reserve in case of unexpected shortage or demand held in future. This traditional production normally used by the food supplier industry. Next is the lean production. Lean production can also be called just-in-time production, defined as a production method that causing to reduce time within production system and also response time from supplier and to customer. Lean production is originally came from Toyota 1930 operating model, which called the Toyota Way. The production aiming to maintain the quality of their product at the higher level, eliminate of waste, reducing production time and also reduce total cost. By the manner, there are 5 key principles of this production. To begin with, they precisely specific value by specific product. Next is to identify the value stream of the product. Value stream here means the process of making the product. In addition, lean production also making the value flow without any interruption and let the customer pull value from the producer. In this case, producer will produce the product using the specification that the customer wanted they to do it. The last one is to pursue perfection. Let's talk about the characteristic of these two production systems. That begin with traditional production. This basically will produce a large batch of production. It is because the system is making stock production and reserve their stock in order to fulfill customer demand. That's why they are using the customer demand forecast in their production. They are basically produce a single product based on upcoming demand from the customer. The production period is long as they produce something in a big quantity. Unfortunately, they only can produce a specific product at one time, so the variety of their product is low. In order to maintaining the quality, they will make a sampling inspection and being done by their inspector only. Last but not least, the process stream will end in the last machine in the row. The lean production characteristic is much contra from the traditional production. They produce single piece item but in the continuous flow. They just produce when there are demand for the customer. In the simplest manner, where there are customers' orders, they will manufacture it. Due from that, they have a short order to ship cycle of time and a very minimal inventory at a very stage, as they don't want to create a waste if they hold a large amount of inventory. Next is because of the adapting just-in-time progress, they can simply change over machine and equipment that can make other product in no time. To maintaining the quality, they use a total quality control as they close interrogation from the whole change. The worker is given authority to inspect the product and to make sure that it is in the perfect shape. The last thing I want to share is how to implement the lean production. There are 8 steps to do it. First is to start eliminating waste. This is one of the core principles of lean manufacturing. In order to do that, you may use a value stream analysis to identify wasteful activity occurring at the plant. Next is to reduce unnecessary inventory. The cost of maintaining excess inventory is maybe outweigh the potential benefit you might realize. The third one is to shorten the production cycle. What used to take days or weeks to complete, where you can often be accomplished in hours. Utilize all technological capabilities at your arsenal. The fourth one is to speed up response time. Try to develop a system that can react swiftly so you can capitalize on the market change. Next is to ensure that all product components have been quality tested in order to produce a perfection product and also save cost of any defection might happen. Then It will be a good step if you extend employee autonomy by giving them authority to make decisions and provide them the tools and methodology for doing so. It can establish teams to make sure what progress and improving technique. The last two is to solicit customer feedback and reach out to supplier. It's important for you to know customer feedback to our invention as we want to pursue perfection. I think that's all from me. Thank you for.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Hazil Qayyum Biazwa from SC104E. So today I would like to talk about advantage and disadvantage of tradition production and production and the evolution of them. So one of the advantage of traditional economy is the traditional economy centers around family. Because the traditional economics are predominantly rural, the skills required to manufacture commodities or services are passed down from generation to generation. Next, it is an economy which allows for movement and freedom. The traditional economy is founded on the idea of going where you have to in order to gather the materials you need to exist. Traditional economics are frequently migratory by design, allowing each family group to follow migration of seasonal food growth patterns. Traditional economic groups rarely need to trade with the outside world, since they can produce what they require on their own. Traditional economies only produce what they require. When developing goods or services in the conventional economy, there is almost never any waste. Surplus is also uncommon in this economy type. Most traditional economics will only create what they require. This is because there is no value in trading with someone else in this form of economy. There is no reason to continue creating if the necessities have been addressed. Next, we go to the disadvantage of traditional economy. First, there are high levels of competition in traditional economy. It is because traditional economics is prioritized addressing internal demands over all other considerations. There can be fierce rivalry for few resources. Closely positioned groups may find themselves fighting frequently for control of the region's scarce natural resources. This competition can take many forms, including conflict, which can reduce the number of resources available to all impacted organizations. The second one is traditional economies can be devastated by natural events. The scale and scope of traditional economies' prosperity is heavily influenced by the weather. A terrible growing season can be enough to put a farmer out of business. It may be difficult for those in the traditional economy to identify their new location if migrating herds avoid an area due to bad weather. Families in this economy type prefer to limit their overall population growth to avoid the negative effects of unforeseen weather change. The last one for this disadvantage is people starve if harvest or hunting is poor. Farmers, hunters, and gatherers contribute to the traditional economy by providing food for the entire community. There is a good probability that the people living in such economy will go hungry if there is not enough food available. There is a fairly restricted amount of food storage accessible. In comparison to other economic kinds, what is required is what is cultivated or harvested and immediately utilized. And because bartering is popular, there is no means to get essential commodities because there is nothing to trade. So the next one we will go to the in production advantage. First one is cost saving. In manufacturing allows both small and large business to produce high quality products at the lowest possible cost. From material flows to ergonomics, in manufacturing solutions reduce waste. Organizations save material and time by using lean manufacturing, which helps greatly to the reduction of production costs. Second one is save time. The lean production system is a method of reducing waste and increasing the overall efficiency of manufacturing. process. The lean manufacturing system encourages business to make a better use of resources in less time. Organization can maintain a lean workforce by using a lean manufacturing system that manages time. Last one is easy monitoring. Lean manufacturing is a production system with minimization theory. It enables production managers to save both time and save money. Furthermore, the lean manufacturing approach is simpler to keep track of. Organization can detect and close waste gaps by utilizing enterprise resources planning. The functions of the organization may be easily monitored by the production managers. Next, we will go to disadvantage of it. First is workforce. Frustration. Lean manufacturing places a heavy emphasis on worker and productivity. Employees will become more irritated as a result. The goal of lean manufacturing is to use as little manpower as possible. Employees bear the full cost-cutting responsibility in lean manufacturing organizations, which is highly frustrating for employees. Next is fear of change. The introduction and successful implementation of the approach are heavily influenced by human psychology. Lean manufacturing introduces change to a production system, which might cause employee apprehension and rejection. Organization must make a significant investment in staff training and education in order to establish and integrate the lean manufacturing system, which will take time. For evolution of lean production, over the last few years, the Toyota Generation Program has served as a touchstone for practically every lean manufacturing strategy that has been developed. Analyzed. On the other hand, agree that Toyota's creation has become less lean with time. The pharmaceutical sector is currently in change, which means that the pursuit and the implementation of these therapies must also be in flux. And this means that in order to keep up with the industry's flux, this solution must be implemented on a continuous basis. I think that's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Iqbal Hakimi bin Fauzi. My metric number is 2019429436. I'm from class AC 1104E. I want to present about example of traditional production versus lean production and conclusion. The example of traditional production is, first is furniture. The movable articles that are used to make a room or buildings suitable for living or working in. For example is such as tables, chairs or desks. Second is toys, an object for a child to play with, typically a model or miniature replica or something. Third is textiles, a type of cloth or woven fabric. And the last one is luggage, suitcase or other bags in which to pack personal belongings for traveling. The example for lean production is, first is cable manufacturing. It can reduce machine setups, times and changeover requirement. Second is truck manufacturing. It can improve revenues and increase in productivity. Third is printing industry, increasing on-time delivery of printing industry with shortened load time and reduced waste of finished product. And the last one is automotive part manufacturing. Create a changeover that minimize downtime, enable maintenance of the equipment for the next shift and enhance communication. Conclusion. In conclusion, both productions have their own advantages to develop certain sectors. With these advantages, the production system will be more efficient and fast in providing services to customers. This success will also drive a country's economy to more advanced and successful at the future. That's all from us. Thank you.